Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Era of Content YouTube channel. I am so excited for this video today, everybody. So, a couple of days ago, on Friday night, I saw Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness on opening night. Super exciting time to go that first night as it was releasing, and I've been really excited to make this video. So, let's get right into it, and I will say right now, this is going to be fully spoiler related, so keep that in mind. If you have not seen the movie yet, I would stop watching. So, let's get into this. Overall, what did I think? I think this was a pretty good movie. I enjoyed it for the most part. And I will say right here, I really enjoyed the first 2/3 of the movie a lot. I think the movie really reached its highs at that sort of middle or 2/3 point. The third part, I think there's some issues I have with it, and just overall how a particular character went, and we'll get to that in a moment here. But first, let's talk about some of the good that I really liked. I think the main heroes of this movie were incredible. I think all of these characters and the inclusion of a new character all did so good and made this movie a little bit better than Doctor Strange 1, in my personal view here. I thought Doctor Strange, Wong, and newly introduced America Chavez all did so good. I think their characters were just really well developed in terms of you could really feel for them, and you really enjoyed their success when they were winning. So we can see Doctor Strange here. I think they did a really great job with showing, where he is post, his first movie and post Endgame, where he's really not happy right now. He's really dealing with, his former girlfriend, now getting married to somebody else, and he's dealing with just this fear that he has, that he's unable to really progress in his life, whether it be in a relationship or other things, I would say. And by the end of the movie, it's cool to see that this is resolved. We see, of course, a beautiful line here with Doctor Strange when he's talking to Christine at the end with "I love you in every universe." I think that was beautiful, and I think that was really good closure for Doctor Strange, that he's now able to move beyond Christine. And especially we see that's sort of the case with the introduction in the post-credits scene of Clea. So I didn't know who Clea was, but I see in the comics she is a love interest for Doctor Strange in some comics. So that's pretty interesting, and it makes me excited for a Doctor Strange 3. New character, I have no idea anything much else really about her, but that's super cool. Next up, I think it's also important to talk about America Chavez, because she sort of had a similar problem and similar struggle with Doctor Strange, and I think that sort of allowed them to connect or really work well with each other within this movie. So America Chavez lost her parents when she did her first multiversal movement with that power, with the big star power, and you could see they were both sad and just weren't really happy because of that. They both were sort of lost. One lost within different universes, and one lost just within his own universe, but was unable to sort of have the courage to continue through a relationship with Doctor Strange, sort of scared to address the fears that he could have with continuing a relationship with Christine. So I thought that was a really nice touch, how they did that, sort of, having the same type of struggle between both of these characters. And overall, I think America Chavez just did a very good job, and she will be an interesting character in the future, whether it be in some other sorcery project or in a Young Avengers project. I could see multiple things for this character in the future, so that's really neat. And then also Wong. Wong is awesome. So we've seen Wong in a few different movies now, and he just keeps getting better. I think he's just such a great character to accompany Doctor Strange on these adventures with, and you just gotta love Wong. He's just awesome. And especially at the end there, when we saw Stephen sort of after this, big journey and battle that they've gone through throughout this movie, finally does bow to Wong and show him the respect of the Sorcerer Supreme, and show Wong too giving him respect, sort of saying, look, I am happy because I'm able to go through these struggles with you, Stephen. I thought, this is such a beautiful relationship between the two, just two really good friends, and I'll be honest, I thought Wong was going to die in the movie. I thought, being Sorcerer Supreme, they're going to want to, by maybe this movie, make Steven the Sorcerer Supreme, and they might have to kill off Wong. I am so glad they didn't. I really love seeing Wong in all these projects, and I can't wait to see more of him. So, just a huge round of applause for these three characters. They did so good. I'm so happy with them, and that is my favorite part of the movie. The characters and their personal feelings and struggles, that was great to me. That was my favorite part. Next up, my next favorite part was the little bit of what we saw of the multiverse and the Illuminati. So this is going to be both a plus and a critique. So this movie's called The Multiverse of Madness. And in reality, we only spend a large amount of time in, the main MCU universe, 616, the Illuminati universe, and the Sinister Strange universe. And you can also sort of say maybe a fourth one that had that one book that they were trying to get. So really 3 or maybe 4 universes we spend a good amount of time in. Really, the only other multiverses or universes that we see within the multiverse is in that 15-second clip of, for the first time when Steven is traveling through like 10 of them all at once with America Chavez, when she accidentally pushes them through to all those different universes. That was so cool. That universe, all those different universes, when they see it, one was all paint, one was totally animated. There were so many opportunities there. And I don't even want to say cameo opportunities, because I'm going to talk about the Illuminati in a second. And sure, they could have gone to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man universe. They could have gone to the X-Men universe. So many different types of universes they could have gone to based on legacy movies, sure. But I don't want to get bogged down in cameos. It didn't have to even be that. We have a movie about the multiverse, and we only see a few different universes for a good amount of time, and about, maybe 5 to 10 other universes for a couple seconds. Wow. Totally not what I expected in the movie. I thought maybe, okay, let's say that they needed that book to try to fix this issue. Maybe they have to go universe by universe, trying to figure out where do they need to go. What's the next step? What's the next clue to reach their end goal of that book? There could have been so many opportunities here to see so many weird, cool, wild universes. I would have loved a good, 3 to 5 minutes within an animated universe, except we only got that for like a second. There could have been so many cool things. And it's just so surprising to me that in a movie all about the multiverse, we had so few universes shown on screen for a good amount of time. That was a big disappointment. I think that was really shocking to me. I'm going to make a video all about sort of this and how I think it could have done better, and it's actually from an old Nickelodeon special. If you're familiar with Fairly Odd Parents, Channel Chasers, it's a really cool special for such a typical Saturday morning cartoon, but they did it sort of different universes so well in their context, and I think this movie could have learned a lot from that to make it a little more interesting. But, what we did get in the multiverse, I really did enjoy, and that also includes the Illuminati. So let's talk about that. Super cool here to see these characters. We have Agent Carter, who I love, Peggy Carter. Captain Marvel, that was really cool to see it being a Maria Rambeau as Captain Carter. Obviously, like maybe however we see in Captain Marvel, the movie, Carol Danvers gets the power. We see maybe in this universe it was Maria Rambeau. So that was really neat. I really liked that inclusion. We see Professor X within the big yellow hover cart. Loved the character. He said that line. People stumble along the way and whatnot, but they can still be good. I thought that was wonderful, as well as the X-Men music playing as he entered the room. so good. That was really good. And then probably my two favorite inclusions of the Illuminati here. First off, Black Bolt. Yes. Oh my gosh. So, Inhumans, the series, gets a ton of hate, very much trashed, and I will be the first to admit, yes, it's a pretty low budget series, but I loved it. I thought it was a really fun time. For 8 episodes, just a fun little story, just a story about two brothers, essentially, and almost, I personally think it's, the way I describe it is like Shakespearean, that series, in terms of sort of, the fight for power and whatnot and family. I really enjoy it. So seeing that character played by the same actor, Anson Mount, that was awesome. I really liked the character included. And then of course we have to talk about John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic, as Reed Richards. Super cool. I love The Office, and of course, you can't not go on the internet and see Fantastic Four talk without seeing him being mentioned as the possible casting for Reed Richards in the MCU. So, first, let's just address that. I think it's very possible that he is going to be the MCU or Earth 616 Reed Richards for the upcoming movie. But I don't think that's a confirmation or a done deal yet. I think it's, I would be very happy with it. I think he did a good job, and I just love him as a person, as an actor. So I would be totally fine with that. But we don't know for sure because obviously we've seen in Loki as well as with Captain Marvel here, it's not always the same character. It's not always, Brie Larson playing all the Captain Marvel variants, or it's not always Tom Hiddleston playing all the Loki variants. So this could be a one-off, and it could be just a nice Easter egg for the fans who wanted John Krasinski to play Mr. Fantastic. So I don't know. I'll be curious. Another thing I want to say about that is when he was introduced, Mr. Fantastic, or when Mr. Fantastic was introduced, Doctor Strange talked about how didn't you chart in the 60s when he was referring to the Fantastic Four. This was interesting, and I think we can really take this two ways. He could be referring to, instead of making a pun on the Beatles, who were called or sort of nicknamed the Fab Four in the 60s there, or he could actually be referring to and sort of giving us a little hint at what the future of Earth 616 Fantastic Four is within the MCU. So, the Fantastic Four movie coming up, it could be within the 60s. And I've heard I think it was a director talking about this, that his pitch for a Fantastic Four movie in the MCU was these were superheroes within or who were within the MCU universe. However, they were within the 60s. They were superheroes in the 60s, and maybe they get lost in space or something, or lost within the quantum realm, and then maybe by the end of the movie we see the whole movie was in the 60s, but then we somehow see them reemerge modern day MCU or something like that. I think that's such a super cool idea. I would love to see another film take place within a different era, like the 60s. I love Captain America in the 40s and Captain Marvel in the 90s. So I think this would be a movie that would look so unique if they did go that route. But I don't know. It could just be a Beatles reference. So either way. But overall, looking at the Illuminati, I loved all their characters and everything. Their inclusion was just a really fun Easter egg. We obviously didn't get many other Easter eggs within different universes, but like I said, just other universes, sans cameos, just to see cool, weird stuff would have been a very nice inclusion, and that's one of my main critiques here. So we can't talk about the Illuminati without talking about how Wanda absolutely destroyed them. So this was shocking to me, and I want to get into, really as a whole, Wanda's character here. You'll notice I really haven't talked about Wanda throughout this whole video here, and I have a lot to say about Wanda here. First off, Wanda is one of my favorite characters within the MCU, and WandaVision is one of my favorite projects within the MCU. I love Wanda and I love WandaVision. Uh, Personally, I feel like I've left the theater here feeling like the creators of this film didn't necessarily care about where Wanda ended in WandaVision and what WandaVision as a whole led to or what it meant. I, what's interesting to me is, you know, we see Wanda here totally off the deep end. And I understand she was corrupted by the Darkhold. And I do understand, I think in the future, she'll be redeemed. And I understand I really do hope they go that route because I don't want to see a continual villain arc for Wanda after this point. I heard that, let's see, Sam Raimi only saw some highlights of WandaVision and didn't watch the whole thing. Uh, I think overall he did a good job with directing for the movie, but if this was the vision, I feel like there was a lot missing here. First off, I just want to talk about Vision. Where was Vision? We see Wanda totally sort of coming to terms with his death at the end of WandaVision, but it seems weird here that she's totally obsessed with searching for her kids in different multiverses and doesn't have even any interest in trying to find or contact Vision in this or within any universe as well. So that seems wrong to me. At the end of WandaVision, she says, we've said, goodbye before, so, maybe they'll say hello again. It seems weird that she's totally given up the Vision interest there and only is interested in her kids. I don't know. It doesn't seem right to me. I don't think it fits her character. I do have to keep in mind, though, she was corrupted by her character. And I think a lot of this, we point to the post-credit scenes of WandaVision. So we hear her kids sort of coming out of, their voices coming out of the Darkhold, or she's studying the Darkhold, trying to figure out, how do I save my kids? I think what's really happened here is something similar to Shang-Chi's dad, that Wanda was corrupted by some sort of force here within the Darkhold, just how, like Shang-Chi's dad was corrupted, and he was fearful and acted unreasonably as well. We see that Wanda here genuinely feels like she needs to go after her kids to save them, just like Shang-Chi's actions, or his father's actions, were unreasonable here, but he felt like he was truly doing right. I guess my main critique here of that is the fact that Wanda, it just sort of throws out the progress that was made in WandaVision. I love where her character was left off there within WandaVision, and this movie is sort of ending in the same spot, but for the whole time just made her a villain. So it seems like the villain aspect was almost unnecessary. We're going to see, look, she's not dead, or if she is dead, she's gonna be revived somehow. There's no way they're getting rid of this character. So I don't know. I mean, I think this comes down to the fact that I don't like seeing Wanda as a villain, because there was just so much growth made within WandaVision. I didn't feel like it was necessary to have another stage of, well, let me lose all that growth and be corrupted by something, and instead of be a villain here. And that's not to go against, let me just say, not to go against Elizabeth Olsen's acting. As always, she did a wonderful job here for the type of character she was given. She did really good. I mean, it was a scary villain. It was just, as a person that loves this character so much, I think hard for me to see Wanda villainized here to this extent. So, that was a surprise, not necessarily a welcomed one. I mentioned in previous videos how I said, I think, she'll have some self-interested things within this movie, like trying to search for her kids that will go against Doctor Strange's motives. And that's obviously the case, and I thought maybe it would subside maybe halfway through the movie, and she would come back to his team and face the real enemy of the film, but of course, my speculation was wrong, and she, of course, was the real enemy of the film here. So, surprising for me, yes. disappointing to me as a WandaVision fan. However, I think we can now pick up where we left off, and sort of go from here where we were going to go from the end of WandaVision. I thought it was wonderful how America Chavez showed her, look what you're doing. Your kids in this universe are scared of you because you're going to take them away from their real mom within that universe. I thought that was really smart, and a good way for the Scarlet Witch here to realize, oh my gosh, what I'm doing is really wrong. So the building falls on top of her. She also destroys the Darkhold, which is then destroyed in every universe. I think that was cool. But let's talk about the future here. So like I said, both in WandaVision and both here, Wanda sort of figures out what I'm doing is wrong, whether it was intentional or not, in either of these projects. She realizes what's going on is wrong, and I think we're going to now continue from Multiverse of Madness with some sort of growth in whatever project she is in next. I think that's really great. I thought we would just go from WandaVision to see that growth in here or somewhere else. However, we're obviously going from this point forward. So, personally, I don't think it's a major loss. I just personally didn't like how she was written within this project, because I want to see her as the hero that she can be. I think she will be, though, sooner or later. So that's really why I'm not really holding too much of a issue with the movie. I know, sooner or later, I think she'll be good or have or be redeemed, I guess. So let's talk about that. Where will we see Scarlet Witch next? There's rumors, I don't want to get too much into rumors here. There's rumors of her signing a 7-year deal. I don't know how credible they are. However, I think that's very possible because Wanda is just such a loved character. We all love her so much, or so many of us do. So, in terms of projects, I think a very obvious one could be Agatha, House of Harkness. Wanda left off saying, "If I need you, I'll find you, or I'll know where to find you," to Agatha. I think at this point, Wanda could very much have. I think she's alive under the rubble or whatever. I think she could say, "Oh my gosh, I was really corrupted by the Darkhold. I know someone else who was as well in Agatha, so I need to go to her. I need to learn from her, both just dealing with that corruption, as well as dealing with how to maybe deal with particular types of witchcraft, because I think that would be such a cool friendship bond, as well as a teacher relationship between these two characters. So I think she could show up in Agatha, House of Harkness. Could it be in the whole series? Yes, it could be. Could it be in maybe a final episode, a post-credit scene, or something that shows they're going to team up in the future? Yes. Either way, I really have very little doubt that she's going to show up in there. I think it seems so obvious, and for a character that's liked so much, why not show up in the series of a character where it all began with WandaVision? That's really exciting. I think that series really could be sort of them or Wanda learning from Agatha there. I don't know. But in reality, though, even if she's not in that series, I think Agatha is going to show up in a future Scarlet Witch movie. I think that's inevitable at this point. This is, I would say, one of the biggest, if not the biggest characters within the MCU. You need to give her a movie. Even a trilogy at this point. I would be so down for a trilogy of the Scarlet Witch, especially one that, first movie she becomes redeemed. They get Vision back. They have their kids somehow. They find a way to get their kids. The whole family can be in this movie or within this trilogy. I think it's a no-brainer. These are all such wonderful characters. And I know Kevin Feige and the people at Marvel realize with Elizabeth Olsen and everybody else, they're sitting on a gold mine because she's awesome. Paul Bettany's awesome. Catherine Hahn's awesome. Everybody's awesome here within these characters. WandaVision was just such a strong start to the Disney Plus series. And that wasn't just because it was the first Disney Plus series from Marvel, in my opinion. I think they really hit the jackpot there on a fantastic cast of characters and the start, really, of this Scarlet Witch saga of stories, in however context they do it, whether series or movies or whatever. So, yes, I think, a surprising end, or surprising story for Wanda here, but one that doesn't bother me too much, because I know in the future things will change. Well, at least I hope so. I really do think, though, she will be redeemed in the future, because I think that's what most of us want within this character, this awesome character. So overall, this movie, not necessarily a favorite of mine, but what I really liked in it, I really liked. What they did well, I thought was very, very good, and that was stuff I really appreciated. Some stuff, not my personal wishes for, the story, but I can't control everything. I'm gonna take what I really liked from the movie and go with that. The Illuminati stuff, I just can't wait to see that again and again when this comes out on Disney Plus. That's just so cool. Wanda just destroyed them, and that was really sad. But you're almost like, I can't look away, and I can't wait to see this again, because these are all awesome, cameo characters, and I do hope we see an Illuminati in some sort of context in the future. Personally, I think, why not Doctor Strange start an Illuminati within the MCU universe? I think that's very possible. Maybe he'll decide to do that someday. But overall, I went to the movie theater. I was expecting a lot of fun, and I did have a lot of fun. It was good stuff. So, not my personal favorite, but still enjoyable, and that's really, still makes me happy. So, yes. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on this movie. This was something that I was very much looking forward to, and overall, I'm still coming out happy enough. So that's really cool for me, and I'm appreciative of all the time and work that went into this film. So we have a lot of stuff coming up in the future, more series from Marvel, more movies, all that kind of stuff. I'm excited for the future. I hope you are as well. Tell me your thoughts below, and thank you so much for watching the video today, everyone. Have a good one.